if you, as a PTO, are really kind of struggling to get events pulled together and your fundraisers have not been quite as what you kind of want them to be, then I have an idea for you. I think you should team up with other PTOs in your school district. Yes! Teamwork makes the dream work, my friends. Here's how this topic came to mind, because back when I first started, I remember going to PTA council meetings, because in my district, we are a PTA kind of district. So we have individual PTA units at each of the schools, and then we get together because we're nerds for council meetings. That's a whole nother unit. Anyway, I remember back when I first started, I totally had the wrong idea. Like I was approaching it all wrong. I was approaching the other PTO units as a source of competition, or not a source, but a point of competition and not collaboration. I was all messed up in the head. And I remember other units would give like their reports about what they're doing. And I would feel like, oh, I need to make my report even better to show that we're doing a lot. And there was no like showing any weakness. I don't know where this came from because I'm not like a super competitive person. And I like to collaborate. I like to work with other people. And it wasn't until I got more experience and kind of understood what was going on and understood kind of that was a totally stupid position to take, that we're all in it together, that we all should work together to make it happen, because ultimately we're all doing this kind of for the same set of reasons, right? So like by working together, you can get a lot further. You can do a lot more. You can raise a lot more money. You can maintain more of your sanity as a PTO leader when you work with other people in the district, in the same school district, or maybe even go outside of your school. Maybe work with a neighboring school district. That might be kind of fun. There's just so many possibilities. So here are the ways that I personally have gotten the units in the same school district to kind of work together. Because I have been PTA council president in the past, or maybe you don't know that, but hey, I've totally done that because ultimate nerd right here. Love to do all the PTO things. First, you can collaborate on like family fun events. And one of the very first things that I kind of had two units do together was a trunk or treat. And that's because I was crazy enough to be the family events chair for both the lower elementary and the upper elementary school at the same time. And so just to maintain my own sanity for just a little bit, I was like, okay, we're going to plan this October event at this together, because it's way less, I shouldn't say it's way less work. It's not really any additional work to add on a couple hundred extra students. Like it's a smidge more work. Really nothing like it is doing an entirely different program from scratch. Right? So it's easier to kind of work together. So you could do a trunk or treat. You could do a talent show. That is a super fun community builder. I love talent shows. Not so much for adults, but for kids. I think they are fantastic. My jam is to see little kids in our district. And by little, I mean like kids, period. And it could be 12th graders. I still think they're little because I'm old now. But anyway, so a talent show, great event. If you have not done one, I highly recommend. Same with the trunk or treat. A trunk or treat really can work for your entire school community, from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. It's a little trickier to get the older kids involved, but you can do it. I will do a separate post about that, or a separate video rather. All right, so you can work together with family fun events. You can do fundraisers together. Yes, you can. And if you don't want to do them kind of together, you can work together to do the same kind of fundraiser. For example, the lower elementary schools in my district this year worked together to do readathons. They all did a readathon, not together. They all kind of had their different little spin on it. But one group tried it last year and was like, whoa, this really worked well. And they brought it to a council meeting and said, we're going to share this with you. And here's how we did it. And the other groups were like, really? That was so easy. And you raised out that money. I think we could do it too. The next thing you can do is you can do group trainings. Now, this is so helpful because you don't know what you don't know in PTO land. And so it is really helpful to get people together so they can ask questions in like a safe environment and say, we're going to get all the presidents together. We're going to get all the executive board members together. And the last thing you can do is get everybody together for some like officer roundtables. So beyond the more general training issue, you just do a deep dive, drill down into each position. So you have all the presidents get together. And so you give them kind of like a sketch kind of, or like a game plan of what they should be talking about so that they can cover things and everybody can get the most out of it. So of course you want to have open question and answer time. You want to have people share what's working, what didn't work, what they most want to know, best tips, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of general but guided, but that's a really good way to kind of learn from others that you might not otherwise have an opportunity to learn from others. And I think in this last part, I kind of wish that my unit would do this more with the other schools. Like just because we don't have another high school to work with. So I could reach out to a neighboring school district and say, hey, PTO peoples, you want to get together and kind of chit chat. I think it would be a really nice way because you live in the same area. You know, so much of this you're doing because you want to make your community better, stronger. And so working with other parents who know different things and do things different way really could help benefit your group. So I hope this has given you some ways that you can not compete, but collaborate with other PTO leaders and to make your group better. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. Want even more guidance on how to be a stronger leader so you can run a better PTO or PTA? All these resources and more are waiting for you at PTOanswers.com.